Welcome to the Manifest and Chill podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Ftacek, where we dive in each week to chat about how high-achieving women can release the need to be perfect and find peace, drop the hustle without giving up their ambitions, and manifest the life they truly desire. I'm a certified manifestation and visualization coach with a rich and exhausting background as a serial entrepreneur and tech founder who is obsessed with teaching women how to manifest the life of their dreams and chill the fuck out in the process. Let's dive in. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Manifest and Chill podcast. I'm Tracy. And today I want to share something with you that might completely shift how you think about success, strategy, and what it really takes to create the life you want. So I just wrapped up this incredible 10-day experience called Peace Over Perfection. And it was with an amazing group of women. Something happened that I have to share with you because it's so important. Over those 10 days inside Peace Over Perfection, and if you're interested in looking at it after this episode, highly recommend. It's a self-driven Telegram program. It's available on my website at www.tracyftacek.com. It's in the show notes if you want to click through. Over these 10 days, we dove deep into identity work, like who do you need to become to create peace over perfection in your life? And during this program and these daily activations and voice messaging, I'm watching these women transform, like genuinely transform. The way they're talking about their challenges, the way they're showing up, the way they're responding to triggers that used to completely derail them. And I'm starting to get these DMs, women saying things like, Tracy, it feels like you wrote this program just for me. Every training, every meditation, it's exactly what I need to hear. And honestly, it makes my heart so full because I know what it feels like to finally find someone who gets it. But then something happened that stopped me in my tracks. I had a woman reach out about my next program, a woman that is in the Peace Over Perfection group. And she was reaching out about my next program, The Shift. And I asked her, because I'm always curious and I want to make sure that when somebody's interested in working with me, whether it's one-to-one or in one of my programs, what's their number one thing? So I asked her, what's the number one thing you want The Shift to help you achieve? And her response literally gave me goosebumps. She said, I don't think it's an achieve thing that spoke to me. It is the continue this daily remembrance of who I am in order to keep me out of my head. Out of her head. Do you realize how profound that is? Because here's what I see happening with so many high-achieving women that I work with, and maybe this is you too. We get trapped up there, and I'm pointing at my head, in the analysis, in the overthinking, in the what-if spiral, in the I need more strategy, I need more tactics, more something loop. Because as high-achieving women, we are always interested in the ROI of what we invest in. And I'm here to tell you, my friend, sister, you can have all the strategy in the world. You can buy every course building program, every how to go viral on social media training, every get your first 50K a month blueprint. But if you're stuck in your head, if your mindset is all off, if your identity isn't aligned, you will never achieve your desired outcome. I have clients who had bought program after program after program. They had notebooks full of strategies. They knew exactly what they were supposed to do. But they were still struggling, still getting trapped in their heads, still reverting back to the old identity when things got challenging. And then the magic happens. One of my clients makes $21K from a few emails and DMs. Not because she learned some new strategy, not because she found the perfect script or template, but because she embodied the identity of someone who makes $21K from a few DMs. Here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you. The strategy you're searching for is the identity work. Because there's a massive difference between saying you're worthy and actually seeing it, feeling it, and energetically being it. Let me tell you about my own journey with this. In 2022, I stepped away from my 7-figure beauty brand. Not because it wasn't successful, because it was, but because I was actually dying inside. If you had asked me when I started that company, I would have said to you, this is it. This is what I'm doing to retire. Meaning I was going to work until the day I died on this brand, in this brand. I love this fucking brand. And I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it. But because I was putting my blood, sweat, and tears into it, I was slowly dying inside. And so my stress was off the charts. My physical health was suffering. I was literally drinking coffee 24/7. Like I would make myself a cup of coffee at like 5, 6 o'clock at night. Even my team was like, you're drinking coffee in the evening, won't that keep you awake? And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole concept of this coffee. My physical health was suffering. I was waking up at 3 a.m. thinking about things I forgot to do. Migraines daily. Like it's a bad situation when you are taking migraine medication daily to ensure it doesn't explode into the worst migraine. I was living in compression socks because of inflammation from eating in my car, ordering takeout, always on the run. But here's what terrified me the most. I was afraid that if I gave up my constant go, 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 push, push, push mentality, all the success would disappear. I was convinced that my suffering was the price of my success. But you know what I realized? To change my results, I had to change my approach. I had to change who I was being. You know what the difference is between someone who stays stuck and someone who transforms their entire life? The stuck person collects strategies. The transformed person embodies identity. The stuck person stays in their head. The transformed person lives in their power. You can know all the tactics in the world, but if you don't believe in your bones that you're the woman who gets to have what she wants, if you don't feel it in your nervous system, if you're not energetically aligned with that reality, the strategies won't work. The tactics will fall flat. The proven systems will somehow not work for you. But when you master that daily remembrance, what my client was referring to, when you become the woman who knows how to get out of her head and into her power, that's, my friends, that's when you make 21K from a few DMs. That's when opportunities start flowing to you. That's when the strategy becomes effortless because you're being the person who naturally attracts what she wants. And that daily remembrance, that practice of getting out of your head and into who you really are, that's not a one-time thing. That's a lifestyle. That's a practice. That's the foundation of everything you want to create. Now, I want to talk to you about something I'm seeing with a lot of women I work with, and maybe this resonates with you too. What's the point of being a leader in business, family, and friendships if it all feels like a balancing act where you're carrying the weight of many worlds on your shoulders? You desire to recharge and reset, but you're often the go-to person for guidance, support, and solutions. You're constantly leading by example, your actions and mindset rippling out of those around you with little, if anything, left for you. You're too exhausted to unleash your untapped potential because you're too busy mentoring others. You desire to elevate your impact, but there just aren't enough hours in the day and energy in your fuel tank. Sound familiar? Yeah. Here's what I believe. I believe the journey to mastering these practices is deeply personal, and it is a-okay to take your time. Whether that's through a structured program where you're doing the work alongside other incredible women, or whether that's through personalized one-to-one mentorship where we can go deep into your specific situation, your challenges, your goals. Because sometimes what you need isn't another program. Sometimes what you need is someone who can see your blind spots, who can guide you through your specific journey. It's why I myself actually invest money into personal coaches for myself, because that's what works for me. And here's what I want you to consider as you're listening to this. Think about your biggest goal right now, the thing you've been trying to strategize your way to. Now ask yourself, what would the woman who already has this feel like? How would she move through the world? What would she believe about herself? That's the work. That's the real strategy. You're not missing a strategy, my friend. You're missing the identity alignment that makes every strategy work. This episode hit you differently. I want to hear from you. Send me a DM on Instagram at Tracy Ftacek and tell me what landed for you. And if you're ready to dive deeper into this work, whether that's through the SHIFT program, Peace Over Perfection, or exploring what a one-to-one mentorship might look like, all the links are in the show notes. Remember, you felt different after just hearing this episode. Imagine what happens when you commit to the daily remembrance of who you really are. The woman who doesn't need to live in her head anymore. She gets everything she wants, not because she's perfect, but because she's present and at peace. Not because she has all the answers, but because she trusts herself enough to take action anyway. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.